All right, Pulp Fantasy, Glendale. These are super preliminary picks because with it being the first Triple Crown of the year, we'll know everybody that's in the main events before the main events actually start. I tried to go back to A2. Something was going on with the website. It wouldn't let me see my team, but points last round, 213. That's the first time I broke 200. Overall rank, 1140. Overall Supercross Series rank, 2840, yada, yada, yada. I don't remember who all I had at A2, but it was a pretty solid team. I know that I had Plessinger, and he got 3 points. Crashed with Ferrandis, broke his throttle tube, didn't finish. So I think he's a 6 handicap this week, non-all-star. So if you can pick him, I can't. But if you can pick him, that's pretty locked in. In the league, still get my ass whipped. I did make up a few points on Barker 522, who's been leading it since A1. But yeah, hasn't been great. So if you want to do good at the game, probably do the opposite of what the hell I say. Anyway, preliminary picks going into Glendale. I got Jordan Smith as an all-star, 2 handicap. So if he finishes anywhere on the podium, and let's be honest, pretty slim field right now on the West. So anywhere on the podium for Smith, and he gets max points. Jet Reynolds is a 7. I think he was 13th last week. And I think with the shorter motos, decent starter. I think he'll probably be better this week. Enzo Lopes with a 4. I think he was 17th last week. Apparently he had to run a teammate's rear shock in the main and was not comfortable. But once again, as depleted as this field is, I expect Lopes to be solid inside the top 10. And then Parker Ross, we saw him run at the front last week for quite a while until he fell. One of his best rides ever. So look for him to build off of that confidence and do good again this weekend. 450 class, and once again, preliminary, right? Might have some guys like Harlan, Welton, these kind of guys with big handicaps get in. They cap them at 11, so they would still have to beat a couple of people to get decent points. But once they get in the main event, if they could get a 16 at an 11 handicap, that's pretty solid. So we'll know before the main start who's in. But went with Tomac, top 4. He's good in Glendale, so top 4 gets us max points as an all-star. Ferrandis, saw him get tied up with Plessinger last weekend, and that bumped his handicap a little bit. So Ferrandis had a 5, Savacci had a 4. Could see either one of those guys being right around 8, 9, 10, 11, so decent points. And then I went with Benny. Don't remember what Benny got last week. What did he get, like 14th or something at a 7 handicap, which would be pretty decent points also. Then with it being Triple Crown 2, I normally don't do first the finish line or first lap leaders, right? You get 15 points if you get it right. You get 7 if you get it wrong. So there's a little bit of risk there, but they've got 3 main events and 3 chances at it. So I went with Deegan and Tomac. So all they have to do is get 1 out of the 3, be leading at the finish line on the first lap, and plus 15. Anyway, pumped for the first Triple Crown of the year. Who you got?